all my viewers, I want to thank you for your support. Before we begin, I would like to give a sincere acknowledgement to a very, very special human being that has been in my corner through life's challenges, personally and professionally. Without a doubt, one of my staunchest supporters with the podcast since the beginning. Her accolades supersede her. So without further ado, allow me to introduce the one and only Sheila Ahmadi. So Miss Ahmadi, could you tell me a bit about yourself and how long you've been part of this Shenandoah Valley community?
Well, first, Charles, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be on your podcast. It's my honor to be here. And all that you said about me is amazing, but it's just a small portion of who I am, and I'm grateful for what you said. I'm from Staunton, Virginia. I grew up in Staunton in the Newtown district. I'm the mother of a daughter who works in the healthcare field, Jamila. She does great work to make the difference in the lives of so many people. I have 4 grandchildren, Tatiana and Marara, who are twins, Niara, who's the oldest of my granddaughters. She works in nursing. I have a grandson, Alex, 19, and I have 2 great-grandchildren, Carson and Amira. When I lived in Staunton, as I said, I lived in the Newtown district of Staunton, and I attended segregated school system in Staunton, and later attended Robert Lee High School, which is now called Staunton High School. After graduation, I went to Virginia Union University, which is a small Black Baptist college. And after that, began my career in many different areas, but I first started out working in the correctional system, and later moving to the Washington, D.C. area, and working in many fields. I worked for the U.S. State Department for the Agency for International Development, and it sent Foreign Service career officers overseas. So I did that, and I learned a lot about international relations because I didn't know too much about it, but as I said, we sent Foreign Service officers overseas, so I got to know a lot about a lot of countries, a lot of the issues, and it was a eye-opening experience for me. And after that, I went to work in the mental health field in Washington, D.C., which was under the federal government and then changed to district government, and I worked in mental health services for many, many years, and did health consulting and many other areas of consulting related to mental health and working with underserved populations.
Very, 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 very interesting. Let me ask you a question here. What do you enjoy most about living and working and participating in our community?
Well, I moved back to the area in 2006. And when I came back, there was a group that was working with historical preservation, the Staunton Augusta County African American Research Society. And so I began working with them, and I got really excited about all the history that they were doing, and worked with them in many capacities. During that time, I wrote 5 plays on the Afrocentric history in the area, and they were performed within our area. I was also very interested in making a difference in the community in whatever way I could, so I became involved with different organizations through political advocacy, which involved voter registration, allowing people to be able to know a little bit more about the political process, and just doing what I could where I could to make a difference in the community.
Okay, so this is what I want to know, because I want to go to some of these places. What are some of your favorite places and activities that are in Staunton that you feel I would like to go to?
Well, there are quite a few, but I've been several times to the Shakespeare Theater, and just about maybe 2 to 3 years ago, I wrote a play called No Man Can Hinder Me, and was performed at the Shakespeare Theater. So I want to put in that plug because it was it was a lot of fun working with people and just portraying. We did history from enslavement all the way up until like the 50s with political action related to people like James Brown writing different songs about empowerment and being active and speaking out against injustices. We had a portrayal of Sam Cooke and Nina Simone and so many others. So the plays are something that I really enjoy and stand in. And I love to eat, and so I love to eat. So there are a lot of good restaurants. I've gone several times to Latin Soul, and I think it's truly great food. And I've been to other restaurants in the area, and I just enjoy going out and eating, socializing with friends, taking my great granddaughter, because she loves to go out. So we just mingle in the community.
Okay. So that's how you engage with the community, more or less.
I engage with the community that way, attending various programs that maybe churches may have related to like Black history, or just in general attending different performances, if it's music performances. I know the Prophet Brothers have their annual concert, and oftentimes that I'll go to that. It's just whatever I see that I can be a part of. And
that's awesome. Yeah. I am so happy I'm your brother. So you need to push me a little bit longer.
Okay, I'll push you more and bring you more.
as you have done.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to get a little bit more serious, ladies and gentlemen. So what are some of the ways you contribute to our community, whether through volunteering, organizing events, or other activities, Sheila?
Well, I've worked in different capacities, as I said. I was on the Staunton Electoral Board, which is responsible for making sure that there are free and fair elections. So I've been on that. I've worked in voter registration and education. I'm part of a group called Staunton Visioning, and we've been involved in different capacities with regard to being behind people that are like-minded in making Staunton a better place. So I worked collaboratively with them when we were having recent city council elections, and I collaborated with a member at the time, Melena Matthews, and we wrote a how-to book for people who were running for elections, just to know just the who, what, where, and why about financing, doing PR, and things like that.
Interesting. That's very interesting. And the reason why I say that because for myself, I went to Lincoln University as a political scientist. I was going to become an activist. So that's kind of like touches me even more.
And additionally, I've spoken out many times on things that I felt needed to be spoken out at city council meetings.
Good.
And so when it's something that really tugs at my heart or makes me know that I have to say something.
Good.
I have spoken many times at city council, and just being able to be in places and say what I can say to get my point across so that other people will know what my thoughts are and vision is about certain problems in the community, whether it's economic or racial injustice or problems within the correctional system. Spoken out in different ways.
Very commendable. That's commendable. So what are some of the biggest, and this is the big question, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see and issues you see that we feel right now that's in our community and going forward? Because there is something I want to bring to your attention that could help our community, but I want to voice my opinion and as we go further. What do you think?
Well, I see that there's a racial disconnect. I think we have people from many different walks of life, different ethnicities, political persuasions. But I think the greatest divide that I see in the community is that we're at so many opposite ends of the spectrum. There's no connectedness in the community. We are in the community as individuals, but it seems like we're so much apart, like blacks and whites. I think the biggest divide, of course, is in the church, where we have, churches all over the city. And you would think that there would be some way of us connecting in that way so that we can, bring the barriers down. And I know there have been, different efforts in that way, changing pastors at pulpits at times to connect with the community. But I just see that we're just divided. We have very minimal black businesses
Correct.
in the area. And I think they are known by some, but not by all people.
Correct.
It's not that integration within the community where we're connected to be able to support one another. I think this area has enough for everyone where we can thrive together and be one in the community.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So we're talking about a lot of division. A lot of division causes, between you and me, causes weakness. So what is the strengths that our community provides? Tell me some of the strengths. I want to hear the strengths.
Well, we have, I see now that we have a governmental system in place now with the city council. I think we have a diverse group of people on the city council.
Good.
Who are striving to work in a way to make the city better, educationally, economically, just working together in a way to bridge, various gaps that we have. And I think it's something that every citizen has to work. I think we can't rely on one city council, we can't rely on one school board.
Good.
It has to be everybody
In unison.
working together, yes, in unison, knowing what the issues are, what the strengths are, and where the gaps are, and how we can bridge the gap.
Right. And as you said, not to be afraid to speak up about something that you may not feel. You may not feel what someone else is saying.
Right.
Am I correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. I know you earlier mentioned the annual Juneteenth program that you have been co-leading with Mr. George Hunter since 2017.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what is planned, and I hope it's a big gala, planned for this Juneteenth, time, place, and etc.?
I would just say, before I speak to Juneteenth 2025, yes, George Hunter is the co-founder of Juneteenth. We began in 2017, and a lot of the reason for beginning in 2017 was some of the things that were occurring racially within the country, that's speaking out negatively against people of color in general, and more specifically African Americans. And it's the same thing that's occurring today that we're seeing, that's totally dividing our country. And so when we began in 2017, it was with the emphasis of uplifting our history, local African American history, and history in general, nationally. And so we're proud that this is our 9th year of providing Juneteenth in the community. This year, Juneteenth will be June 21st, where it will be celebrated at Montgomery Hall Park from about 12:30 to 6:30 p.m. We will be having an indoor history museum like we normally have, and it will have local as well as national history. We have Priscilla Rucker. She's from this area, and she's going to be doing a segment of highlighting the history of the Broadway area, which is Brands Flat, and that's going to be from 1869 to the 1950s. It's a treasure in the community that various people do not know about, so she will be highlighting that. We'll be having a history of Montgomery Hall Park from the period that it began in the enslavement area. It was a former small plantation farm, and then it evolved into a park that was provided to the community through a lot of work by different black leaders in the community, like Reverend Jemison. And so Nancy Sorrells of the Augusta County Historical Society will be providing that history of the beginning until the 50s and 60s. We will have various people from the community, Denny Brown, Miss Susie Harris-Jones, Mr. James Becks, and Mr. Theodore Maddox, and there may be others who will provide conversations on what they remember about the park. When the park was in its heyday, because that was Montgomery Hall Park was the only park that blacks were allowed to celebrate, have picnics, just be together as family and friends. And so some of the people that I mentioned lived at the park, they worked at the park, they kept it going. And so we will be having conversations from them. We will have the Augusta County Historical Society who will be preserving pictures, like if people have old pictures, church bulletins from the past that they want to make sure that nothing happens to them. They will be doing a flash drive of that. We'll have Miss Teresa Witzel from the Augusta County Historical Genealogy Society, and she'll be sharing how to research history. And we'll have line dancers who will be performing, and I know this is dear to your heart, we will have retired Colonel Melissa Patrick who will be providing information on World War I and II black veterans, male as well as female. I know that brings a gleam to your eyes and to your heart with the passion that you have for veterans and you being a veteran.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're just encouraging all family, friends, church organizations, just to remember the heyday of Montgomery Hall Park where families, buses would come from all over the place, Lynchburg, Harrisonburg, Clifton Forge, and beyond, to be able to have a place that they could feel that it was their own, they could swim and play. So we're just asking people just to bring your pop-up tents, your folding chairs. There are grills already out at Montgomery Hall Park. Just bring your picnic baskets with fried chicken. We just want you to go back to that era, and because we need to reclaim who we are and connect. Because the more we're connected, I think we're going to have strength and unity with what's going on within our country today.
Yes. Ms. Ahmadi, is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers about the community or your experiences, or anything that you feel that would be an asset to our community today?
What I would like to share is that we are in a very, very emotionally inflammatory time in our lives.
Yes.
In our community, in our country. And I think it's a time when many people can feel like they want to give up, that their voice doesn't matter. And I think this is the time when we need to pull together individually within ourselves and know that we can do and feel and embrace what's going on and be able to individually do something and then collectively, just reaching out in any way that you can to help someone, to encourage someone, to let each of us know that we've got to be together to be able to withstand the tides of racial disharmony that's occurring, disinformation, misinformation, just so much that we're confronted with, and we have to, like I say, individually know who we are, and then collectively know who we are, and support, uplift, and make a difference in any way that we can. And I think one of the biggest ways is some people are becoming discouraged, but we still have to become politically engaged, to register people to vote, to be knowledgeable, not use just one news source as the source for you to feel like you know everything about what's going on, because you have to go to reliable sources in order to know what's going on. Common Cause is a great organization that gives objective, clear information about statewide, national news. So that's one good source to go to. Embedded within their website, They allow you to know about various news situations that are going on and other resources where you can get reliable, objective news reporting.
Great. Well, Ms. Ahmadi, I want to tell you what an honor and a pleasure was to have you on the Voice of the Valley, but also, my gosh, the knowledge that you have spread and you're going to spread through the Voice of the Valley is going to accomplish great things for our community. I promise you that. You are a force to be reckoned with. And it's such an honor to know you.
Well, I feel the same about you.
Yes.
It's been an honor and a privilege to be with you and
Yes.
just to be your friend
Yes.
and to support me as well. And I'm truly blessed to
Yes.
have you.
Me too.
Thank you.
Okay. Stay blessed, everyone, and come back and see us. We shall return.